My sinful brother is my guide to pain, and which I choose to see I will behold, and which I choose to see I will behold. My sinless brother is my guide to peace. My sinful brother is my guide to pain, and which I choose to see I will behold, and which I choose to see I will behold. My sinless brother is my guide to peace. My sinful brother is my guide to pain, and which I choose to see I will behold, and which I choose to see I will behold. My sinless brother is my guide to peace. Can you see your brother is sinless? It'll guide you to peace. Or you can see your brother is sinful. My sinful brother is my guide to pain, and which I choose to see I will behold. Well, I'm Miracle Willie from the Ozarks, forgiveness teacher of the Ozarks, like how I like to think of myself. We're on lesson 351 in A Course in Miracles workbook for students. We're reading from the original edition this year. Next year we'll be reading out of the Foundation for Inner Peace's version. And we will also be reading out of this in the latter part of this lesson today in the Song of Prayer. So here on Sunday, December the 17th of 2023, my sinless brother is my guide to peace. My sinful brother is my guide to pain, and which I choose to see I will behold. Who is my brother but your holy Son? And if I see him sinful, I proclaim myself a sinner, not a son of God, alone and friendless in a fearful world. Yet this perception is a choice I make and can relinquish. I can also see my brother sinless as your holy Son. And with this choice I see my sinlessness, my everlasting comforter and friend beside me, and my way secure and clear. Choose then for me, my Father, through your voice, for he alone gives judgment in your name. And these last lessons will be, I think they're all just the prayer. So just at least for these next 10, what am I is our associated reading. And well, let's just go look at it. What am I? I am God's Son, complete and healed and whole, shining in the reflection of his love. In me is his creation sanctified and guaranteed eternal life. In me is love perfected, fear impossible, and joy established without opposite. Joy established without opposite. You don't have to wait for the other shoe to fall. When you're having a good day, keep it having a good day. Practice forgiveness and don't let anything remove your joy from you. So it says, in me is his creation sanctified and guaranteed eternal life. In me is love perfected, fear impossible, and joy established without opposite. I am the holy home of God himself. I am the heaven where his love resides. I am his holy sinlessness itself. For in my purity abides my own. Our use for words is almost over now. Yet in the final days of this 1 year we gave to God together, you and I, we found a single purpose that we shared, and thus you joined with me So what I am are you as well. The truth of what we are is not for words to speak of nor describe. Yet we can realize our function here, and words can speak of this and teach it too, if we exemplify the words in us. He starts off that paragraph, our use for words is almost over now. Yet in the final days of this 1 year we gave to God together, you and I, we found a single purpose that we shared. And we want to share that with our brothers and sisters. So, tag them, say, hey, come join me in this lesson. We'll go through it again next year, you and I, with the Holy Spirit. And like I said, we'll be going through the Foundation for Inner Peace version. A lot of people have that book, more so than the original edition. So, find people that have the book or get one for them, or tell them they can read it online at acim.org and have them join along. And they can start listening now and kind of get an idea of what's going to be entailed. And so I'd encourage you to bring your friends. Let them know that we're going to be studying A Course in Miracles all the way through next year, the whole book, just like we did this year. And if you're one of those students like me that just keeps doing it over and over, you just keep getting more and more out of it so as you can share more and more joy with everyone. Let that joy without opposite be a reality in our lives. Paragraph 3, under what am I? We are the bringers of salvation. We accept our part as saviors of the world, which through our joint forgiveness is redeemed. And this our gift is therefore given us. We look on everyone as brothers and perceive all things as kindly and as good. We do not seek a function that is past the gate of heaven. Knowledge will return when we have done our part. We are concerned only with giving welcome to the truth. Knowledge will return when we have done our part. And what's our part? To give welcome to the truth. Let truth be true. Follow the peace in your heart. Ours are the eyes, paragraph 4, ours are the eyes through which Christ's vision sees a world redeemed from every thought of sin. Ours are the ears that hear the voice of God proclaim the world as sinless. Ours the minds which join together as we bless the world. And from the oneness that we have attained, we call to all our brothers, asking them to share our peace and consummate our joy. We are the holy messengers of God who speak for Him, and carrying His word to everyone whom He has sent to us, we learn that it is written on our hearts. And thus our minds are changed about the aim for which we came and which we seek to serve. We bring glad tidings to the Son of God, who thought He suffered. Now is He redeemed, and as He sees the gate of heaven stand open before Him, He will enter in and disappear into the heart of God. Okay, and we'll look in the Song of Prayer next, and I think we're ready for we're ready to start. We're still in chapter 1, prayer. We're ready for Roman numeral 4, praying with others, and Roman numeral 5, the latter ends. Latter ends at God. Okay, and remember where it begins? At praying for needs, like when you can't get your prayers answered, and you have to resort to garlic because your tooth hurts, or toothache plant. I kind of see that we're in the middle of this thing that we can use. How do I say it? The way it came in my meditation yesterday was that what we want to share is we're learning about our Earth Mother and how she nurtures us, and our Sky Father, which fills us with the knowledge to transcend the earth plane. And this is the book that we're using to explain the Father. That doesn't mean there's no mother. As a matter of fact, I try to bring a lot of attention to the I was going to say Native American ways. I consider myself a Native American Christian yogi, and I use A Course in Miracles as my Yana yoga. YNYANA, is that, or I'm not sure. How do you spell Yana yoga? I've seen it spelled 2 or 3 different ways. It's a transliteration from, or a translation from Sanskrit. It means the path of knowledge. Okay, and I'm talking a little too much. We need to keep moving along. I'm sitting in front of a walnut tree. Well, before I tell you where I'm sitting and why I'm sitting here, World Holidays and Observances. It's Clean Air Day. Do what you can to keep a clean environment. Burn less fossil fuels. International Day to End Violence against sex workers. But I like to just think of it International Day to End Violence, period. Of course, against anybody. Sex workers also, anybody. End violence. National Maple Syrup Day. We're going to talk about maple syrup. That's why I'm sitting in front of this walnut tree, because you can tap them like you do maples. Pan American Aviation Day. And Wright Brothers Day. And the Wright brothers made their first flying of a machine heavier than air, and carried which one of the Wright brothers, December 17th, 1903, near Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. Okay, maple syrup. I'm going to give you a list of different trees that you can tap. Walnut's one of them. Okay, now here's a list of 25 or 30. Sugar maple, and I'm not going to give you there's a real good website that you can go to, and I'll give you the link to it. It's at Practical Self-Reliance by Ashley Adamant, and I'll put the description in the description below, the link. But lots of deciduous trees, sugar maple, black maple, red maple, silver maple. You know, the soft maples that grow all over the place in people's front yards because they're quick growing. You can tap them. Norway maple, box elder, big leaf maple, and big tooth maple. Rocky Mountain maple, Garoso, which is also a maple. Pawpaw birch, yellow birch, black birch, river birch, gray birch, European white birch. The alders, the Ulmus genera. The black walnuts, the butternut, heartnut, also Juglans genera, burtnut, which is Juglans genera also, English walnut, another Juglans, sycamore, and you know they have a lot of sap. You know, these other trees may not have as much sugar. The one that's the highest in sugar is the sugar maple, and so but a lot of these I saw that the sycamore, it would take 87 gallons of sap to equal 1 gallon of syrup, because you cook it down and concentrate it, evaporate it off. But you know, you can drink it just like it is. You don't have to cook it at all. That's what they make. I think they make that birch beer. It's just the sap, and then they ferment it. But anyway, and the Koreans have I think the tree they use a lot to do that is that one I just said, the Goroso. It's an Acer mono, and they just drink the sap by the gallons in a hot sauna and sweat out you know, it's a way to rejuvenate your body. But they don't cook it down at all, and it's worth a lot of money that way. So if you know you're wanting to look for something to earn a livelihood in the plant world, linden tree, ironwood, hickory, and pecan, the Carya genera, the elms, the ulmuses, and the palms also. But the palms, you do the leaves, not the trunk. White ash, apple, big tooth aspen, black cherry, hackberry, European larch, red oak, black locust, smoke tree, staghorn sumac, and buckthorn. And like I said, you can go to that website at practicalselfreliance.com and get the genera. And I found that you can take a little 2-inch long, about quarter-inch diameter, 2-inch long, and just drill a hole at about just slightly uphill. Maybe I think the guy told me about 60 degrees, 1.5 inches deep. And put your little spike in there. I wouldn't run it all the way to the end. I'd leave it just to where there's a little pocket for the sap to form in and pool out. You might even cut a slit in the but I didn't see anybody did that. But you want the sap to get in that and drip out. And then this fellow was just taking a little cup hook and just screwed it in to hook his barrel on, just right below the sap. They call those spiles, or a sap tap. I like the word sap tap. When to tap? From anywhere from January to April. It's when you have cold nights that are below freezing and warm days, like in the 40s, and it goes back and forth. That's when the sap flows. And I've heard that you can kind of watch your barometer too. There may be some indication when it's going to be flowing, where you want to go check your sap more often. What are some other things I learned that I've anyway? Well, that's probably about everything. Anyway, it's National Maple Syrup Day. So I thought, well, let's just learn. I don't have a whole lot of maples on my place. I've got some, but I do have a lot of some of those other trees. Sycamore's the one I'm looking forward to doing. Okay, let's get to reading. We're taking a little longer talking about the Earth Mother instead of the Sky Father. Praying with others. And with my sinless brother is my guide to peace. My sinless brother is my guide to peace. My sinful brother is my guide to pain, and which I choose to see, I will behold. Praying with others. Until the second level at least begins, one cannot share in prayer. And what's that second level? What I have asked for my brother is not what I would have. Thus have I made of him an enemy. When you start to realize that you're asking for, that you're seeing your brother as an enemy. Until that second level at least begins, one cannot share in prayer. For until that point, each one must ask for different things. But once the need to hold the other as an enemy has been questioned, and the reason for doing so has been recognized, if only for an instant, it becomes possible to join in prayer. Enemies do not share a goal. It is in this their enmity is kept. Their separate wishes are their arsenals, their fortresses in hate. The key to rising further still in prayer lies in this simple thought, this change of mind. We go together, you and I. And that's why I try to get us to recognize that we're brothers and sisters. And that's why I'm using these words for peace around the world, which today I wanted to use the word from Swedish, which is F-R-E-D, but instead of saying Fred, they say friet. Friet. And so peace in Swedish is friet. Now it is possible to help in prayer once you've got to this place where we go together, you and I, even for a moment. And now it is possible to help in prayer. And so reach up yourself. This step begins the quicker ascent, but there are still many lessons to learn. The way is open and hope is justified. Yet it is likely at first that what is asked for, even by those who join in prayer, is not the goal that prayer should truly seek. Even together you may ask for things and thus set up but an illusion of a goal you share. You may ask together for specifics and not realize that you are asking for effects without the cause. And this you cannot have, for no one can receive effects alone, asking a cause from which they do not come to offer them to him. 3. Even the joining then is not enough if those who pray together do not ask before all else what is the will of God. Don't say to go here and there and do this and that. Say, if God will, I'll do this and that. Is how you say. We learned that in James, didn't we? The book of James. From this, so even the joining then is not enough if those who pray together do not ask before all else what is the will of God. From this cause only can the answer come in which are all specifics satisfied, all separate wishes unified in one. Prayer for specifics always asks to have the past repeated in some way. What was enjoyed before, or seemed to be, what was another's, and he seemed to love, all these are but illusions from the past. The aim of prayer is to release the present from its chains of past illusions, to let it be a freely chosen remedy from every choice that stood for a mistake. What prayer can offer now so far exceeds all that you asked before, that it is pitiful to be content with less. You have chosen a newborn chance each time you pray. And would you stifle and imprison it in ancient prisons? when the chance has come to free yourself from all of them at once? Do not restrict your asking. Prayer can bring the peace of God. What time-bound thing can give you more than this in just the little space that lasts until it crumbles into dust? And the last section we're going to read today, the latter ends. Section 5. Prayer is a way to true humility. And here again it rises slowly up and grows in strength and love and holiness. Let it but leave the ground where it begins to rise to God, and true humility will come at last to grace the mind that thought it was alone and stood against the world. Humility brings peace because it does not claim that you must rule the universe, nor judge all things as you would have them be. All little gods it gladly lays aside, not in resentment, but in honesty and recognition that they do not serve. 2. Illusions and humility have goals so far apart they cannot coexist, nor share a dwelling place where they can meet. Where one has come, the other disappears. The truly humble have no goal but God, because they need no idols, and defense no longer serves a purpose. Enemies are useless now because humility does not oppose. Humility does not oppose. It does not hide in shame because it is content with what it is, knowing creation is the will of God. Its sinlessness is self, and this it sees in every meeting where it gladly joins with every son of God, whose purity it recognizes that it shares with Him. 3. Now prayer is lifted from the world of things, of bodies, and of gods of every kind, and you can rest in holiness at last. Humility has come to teach you how to understand your glory as God's Son and recognize the arrogance of sin. A dream has veiled the face of Christ from you. Now can you look upon His sinlessness? High has the ladder risen. You have come almost to heaven. There is little more to learn before the journey is complete. Now can you say to everyone who comes to join in prayer with you, I cannot go without you, for you are part of me. I cannot go without you, for you are part of me. And so He is in truth. Now can you pray only for what you truly share with Him, for you have understood He never left, and you who seemed alone are one with Him. And the last paragraph 4, the latter ends with this: for learning is no longer needed. Now you stand before the gate of heaven, and your brother stands beside you there. The lawns are deep and still, for here the place appointed for the time when you should come has waited long for you. Here will time end forever. At this gate, eternity itself would join with you. Prayer has become what it was meant to be, for you have recognized the Christ in you. Okay, well, we had to read that a little quick. Spend a little more time talking about the Earth Mother aspects. But I think, but listen, do share. You can pass this video on to your friends that might want to listen next year. If they like this presentation, they might like the whole book starting at lesson 1. My sinless brother is my guide to peace. My sinful brother is my guide to pain, and which I choose to see I will behold. Who is my brother but your holy Son? And if I see him sinful, I proclaim myself a sinner, not a son of God, alone and friendless in a fearful world. Yet this perception is a choice I make and can relinquish. I can also see my brother sinless as your holy Son, and with this choice I see my sinlessness, my everlasting comforter and friend beside me, and my way secure and clear. Choose then for me, my Father, through your voice, for He alone gives judgment in your name. My sinless brother is my guide to peace. My sinless brother is my guide to peace. My sinful brother is my guide to pain, and which I choose to see, I will behold. Let's get this guitar tuned a little. I realized it wasn't quite tuned. And I don't usually have to tune this, but I failed to do it right before the class, and so I had to get it better. My sinless brother is my guide to peace. My sinful brother is my guide to pain, and which I choose to see I will behold, and which I choose to see I will behold. My sinless brother is my guide to peace. My sinful brother is my guide to pain, and which I choose to see I will behold, and which I choose to see I will behold. My sinless brother is my guide to peace. My sinful brother is my guide to pain, and which I choose to see I will behold, and which I choose to see I will behold. My sinless brother is my guide to peace. My sinful brother is my guide to pain, and which I choose to see I will behold, and which I choose to see I will behold. My sinless brother is my guide to peace. My sinful brother is my guide to pain, and which I choose to see I will behold, and which I choose to see I will behold. So thank you so much for joining me today and studying A Course in Miracles. My sinless brother is my guide to peace. My sinless brother, boy, don't get that one wrong. My sinless brother is my guide to peace. Probably a Freudian slip from the ego, huh? My sinless brother is my guide to peace. My sinful brother is my guide to pain, and which I choose to see I will behold. Free it. Peace.